Hello, traders. Welcome to the early stream. It's Monday, so typically I have stuff going on a little later. So just going live early, so I don't have to rush too much. My workout's at 4 Eastern, so plenty of time. So just starting the stream with gold. Gold all-time highs, of course. Achieving and exceeding the 1272 fib extension, the high to low from that ascending triangle that was in development from April all the way to late August. Broke out, I mean, pretty much the last trading session of August. It's just been nonstop. So I guess 3656 is your 1414, 1618, 3734, unstoppable. Crazy to see, man. But this asset's up, I think it's like 37, over 37% year to date. And it's your largest market cap asset in the world. And it was that before the run up too. So just something's going on, man. The fourth turning is unfolding. And this chart is showing it to you. You could go to the bonds chart. It'll show you two problems. But I think bonds were up again today. Yields were down. Not in Japan. Weird. We'll look at all this stuff. But just spectacular to see. We can look at silver real quick. Also making, like what, 15 plus year highs. Still, I guess, skating above that old supply line. It's a demand line now. Look at the volume on this break, on this newer rally we've got going on. It's demand accelerating. Highest price seen on silver today since September 9th, 2011. So expect just more amazing stuff. The metals, the precious metals, gold and silver. So, all right, cool stuff. We know gold's awesome, silver's awesome, but what's going on with crypto that has been kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the markets lately, right? Where you've got what, Google all-time highs, Amazon's knocking on all-time highs, very close. It would hit its highest level in many months today. It's still up there. Alibaba's doing stuff. Tesla made multi-month highs today, highest level since May, I believe. It's pulled back, probably going to fill a gap. But then crypto just like can't catch bids. Actually, some pretty terrible price action on some, and then XRP finally resolved. Doge caught some bids, man. That thing ripping, short squeezing so high. It was terrible 2 days ago. It was bearishly back testing. 22 cents as resistance for a long time, putting in a bunch of lower highs, and then just forget it, man. Erase it all with some huge pump days. So today is up 4+%. It was up like that yesterday, I think, like 8-10%. So that's crypto. Okay, so we'll start with Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin. The last notable thing to happen was maybe the buyers recapturing 109,358 and then them reconfirming it as support. Look at double 112s here. Okay. And so now today, or yesterday, I guess, for that matter, we had a bullish engulfing candle. Today we're catching follow through. 5 hours, 15 minutes to the close, so don't hold your breath or don't get cocky. But that 112 level is also an old all-time high. So to break that, there's really, we talk about this, nothing there till almost $117,000. So it would be amazing to see some strength finally, where they're not stupid fake outs. I mean, you had 3 days in a row of breaking and failing miserably. So hopefully it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be a rerun from the 3rd to the 5th. And it's real, okay? Maybe we're going for hopefully our highest close since August 28th, or maybe even August 24th if things get nice. But 4 hour, you can kind of see what I'm about to show you we had that falling wedge, right? Falling wedge, they broke out of it, but then they pulled it back for the back test. You can see that above my head. Now we just have like a really symmetrical structure here that we don't know. I don't know if it's going to play out. Like clearly you can see the neckline is very well defined. Neckline around 113 here. So you got the wedge, right? I'm going to leave that up there. But now it's morphed into something else, maybe something a little stronger, where like wedges, down slipping price contraction, breakouts, you know, of the wedges in that context could just imply that the sellers got exhausted, right? So you get the exhaustion rallies, and then those rallies are short-lived, and then sellers take back over, but they're just not able to put in a lower low. They actually put in a higher low, so momentum is shifting. So now we're probably starting to get some sort of momentum shifting rally. I do like that higher low from the 6th, but you can clearly see no breakout. If you care about a pattern's confirmation line, that would be it on an inverse head, potential inverse head and shoulders, 113.2, 113.1. All right, haven't even really tested it yet. So something to think about. It's pretty cool. I hope it happens. I mean, you know, 112 is a big deal. Being above 112 is awesome. I hope it holds. But we break it, you know, a measured move would take you up probably over 117. I mean, whatever, small pattern. So just something to think about. That's what we got going on. Finally, man. I mean, it's been, dude, number go down, lower highs, lower lows. We're talking about short-term downtrend since mid-August, and now new price action or a new characteristic on the chart is emerging, and it's instead of lower highs, lower lows, it's now lowest low, same high, now slightly higher low, maybe another local higher low here to confirm it. But now it's time to be a big boy and let's put in a higher high, because you haven't really done that yet. So if you want a definitive trend reversal, you got to have consecutive higher lows and higher highs, and you just don't quite have that yet on Bitcoin. So that's the update. Okay, just keeping you apprised. Nice. Okay. Bitcoin dominance. Just look at it. I'm gonna look at it in a minute. So, oh, that's good. This is good. You know, not much. You know, they hit support and rallied, but nothing. It's almost just like you got same. This is good, right? Because you have your trend reversed. Okay, you're no longer able to say consecutive higher highs, higher lows anymore, right? You were doing that nonstop for years, and now it's like a huge drawdown, bearish consolidation, bear pull, bear flag, markdown, good follow through, good performance. So that indicates that sellers could very well be in control of this chart now, and now you have more of the same, where it's just very weak price action after hitting a support where you would think there should be more, but there's not. So this could be really good. I mean, if this resolves bearishly, and guess what? Solana's going to break 216 probably. XRP is going to obviously break $3 and go way higher. Maybe Ethereum wakes up. Finally, Ethereum's starting to wake up. I don't know. There was an argument for maybe a short setup on that thing. Below 39.84 or 30 or 43.84. What was it? We'll look at it. But yeah, it just wasn't catching any bids. So if you are an altcoin fan, if you want Solana to break out and go to all-time highs, you want this to resolve bearishly. You want a big markdown here. You want this to conclude and impulse lower to lower supports. Okay, so that's where we're at. Not looking too good for the Bitcoin dominance bros, even though it was so good for so long. What do you want, man? All trends come to an end. At some point, you know, you go through corrections, and even later it might come down 886 from this low to high, come down to 56%, you know, and then have a bigger rally. But this is looking good for alts. Maybe, could be. All right, that's the theory here. So Ethereum, yeah, like I would just say like pretty neutral situation, because you can't say we're in a bear trend at all, because all they're doing is potentially at some point putting in the highest low of the rally, the whole uptrend since the bottom. This would be the highest low if they based it out here. substantially higher than the August 19th low. But the problem is you've just had extremely bad price action correlation to a historical level from May 2021, the old all-time high reversal. So it's like, that's why it's more neutral, but you have to say there is a long-term or a midterm, long-term uptrend intact still, and that will not even be in jeopardy, right? Your trend will not even be in jeopardy of reversing until at least they take out $4,067. That's just how it works. But I would feel more comfortable and really like Ethereum back above 43.84. They were trying to do it, I guess, in the past hour or two, but they pulled it back. So it's just more of this same crap. I mean, they put up a sell wall at like 4,500, psychological, I guess. And that was like a whole week of just rejection. So long-term uptrend is intact, but you're below a key level from 2021. But if they recapture that level, it could be full-on bullish again. Okay, that's the silver lining. If we get above 43.84, we're in really good shape for 4,800, 47.83. Okay. So if you're an Ethereum holder long-term, you're okay. So I wouldn't be too worried. Once we start catching some follow-through, maybe below like 42, 44, yeah, you're very well probably going to 4,070 for a test, but they just can't do it. Someone's keeping this price propped up here on the bottom side. So still a higher low, potentially. All right. Very nice. XRP, awesome to see. Dude, we got a breakout. We did it, man. We freaking did it. So just some Jesus chimes right here. So that, we had been discussing XRP, where we don't act like we know. We know descending triangles are inherently very bearish structures, but it doesn't mean it can't break out to to the upside. The most recent discernible event that we had identified, on the stream, in the Patreon or whatever, the Discord, was this. The sellers had lost like the structure's bottom, but then right below the bottom of the pattern was this major inflection zone from history, right? From earlier this year and last year. They tested that successfully. Buyers would not let the price fall below it. Then they recaptured the structure. And then they reconfirmed the validity of the structure as valid again, right? No more bearish breakdown, confirmed right here. And so someone can construct a trading plan there, right? You don't act like you know that it would play out. You just know that, okay, probably somewhere below this piece of data, I maybe wouldn't want to own the asset. But if it's real, if what we are identifying is actually real and there's follow through, this is a great level to manage risk, right? Optimum area. So you've caught follow through off of this spring back test of spring of structure. So, and then it kind of manifested into a break of the supply line that goes all the way back to late July. So, yeah, and there was a Momo shifting structure. Okay, right, cool. But now we're up against this 4-hour 200 simple moving average. We're up against $3, major psychological level, but it's also a real level from March. It was a reversal, a big one. So you have to break that. And it would really be good if we could somehow, even on the 4-hour, make a higher high than 310. 310 would be like, hey, we're making a higher high. No longer
Brutus
lower
super
highs.
chatted $50. Thanks, Mitch. I like TH. Think I'm learning Summit ingredients here.
Please clap. Brutus, thanks so much for the $50. Remember, that's a tax-free super chat. Google taxes 30% on it, but the government, thankfully, doesn't tax anymore on those contributions. So I really appreciate that, man. So anyone that's tipping, remember, the government doesn't get any of it now. So green light. Thank you so much, man. Ingredients. Yeah, ingredients. Price action is an ingredient. It's a major ingredient. Over the years, price actions become maybe the most important thing to me. Like I like structures. I like oscillators. I like all the things, right? all the different variables, but price action, right, correlation to key levels has kind of become like the paramount variable, like where it's like the violation, the recapturing, the reconfirmation, and then maybe at those levels you get one low, you get a second low. Stuff like that I think is the most important. But you want to have that number one, okay, fine. But does number one, like that variable, does it have the backing of all these other variables we love? If it does, your argument is much stronger for positive resolution.
You have a debt problem when you cut rates with markets at all-time highs. Go for the future.
Is that a joint?
Goes to Ron Paul. Well, this has to do with the inputs of the data we have been receiving, right, from jobs. Like we're about this week, I don't know how it's going to affect the market. It could be terrible. Like I don't know if the market's going to like mark down violently. The VIX is going to spike because there's going to be another revision. It's going to be like 500 to 800,000 jobs revised downward again. We're talking like, I think for this year, I think after this week, it's going to be like 2.4 million jobs lost in revisions, meaning the data points that the Fed was receiving from the previous presidential administration, frauds, it was all fraudulent. So, yeah, stock market all-time highs, and maybe it's sentiment, maybe it's because of, whatever. I'm not an economist, but yeah, interest rate cuts at all-time highs. Yeah, we know things are bad, man. Things are the economy and the stock market are completely diverged. They are in different universes right now. Right? I mean, the real estate market, there are more homes for sale than there are buyers on the market. There's more unemployed people now than there are job openings. And that's the first time since like March of 2021 or something. There was a crossover, like a bearish crossover on that data. So make of that what you will. Gold all-time highs, silver. There's something going on, right? Like central banks knew in 2016 they began amassing stupid amounts of gold, and they've been doing that for years. They were the composite operator for gold. So if you wanted to know, you know now. You have it. Anyway, thanks for the 420. Hype in chat for XRP breaking out, but we need to break $3. You break $3, then break 310, and then I think we have a very good chance at 336 to 340, and that would be crazy. Okay, so let's go to BNB. BNB, okay, so this is what we're talking about. They could never break the neckline. So you could never say that this pattern was real. We needed price action to break above the right shoulder to invalidate. It looks like you're getting that. So very, very good to see. It was very strong. It was suspicious. It was like they just keep making higher lows. There's no signs of weakness despite some pullbacks. And now you are just a few percentage points away from all-time highs. I mean, you understand, like if you closed where you are right now or higher in the next 5 hours, it will be the second, possibly the second highest daily candle close ever. So it's just looking more and more like above 860, 861, looking more and more likely that you're going to be going to 905 and continuing price discovery. This is wild, man. What a freaking beast. Staring in the face of bearish divergence, now all of a sudden, you've got like bullish convergence. Strong man. BNB is something else. Better than Ethereum, better than Solana, better than XRP. In ways, better than Bitcoin lately. Yeah. How about you do we could compare. So Bitcoin is off its all-time highs by 10%, 9.67%. Okay. Well, then what is BNB off its all-time high? It's off its all-time high by 2.2%. Yeah, BNB superior to Bitcoin lately, locally. Superior to every other asset in crypto. There is not another crypto of significant market cap that is in any way close to performance to Binance Coin. So just keep that in mind. The strongest asset of crypto in the entire world, you're looking at it right now. And that includes Bitcoin, right, too. Pretty cool. CZ and his goons taking over the world, man. And there's nothing you can do about it. Get wrecked. Solana, we've got a big deal going on here. This is kind of a reason going live because, okay, 216 is everything on this chart. Everything. Why? It's an old all-time high back from September 2021. It's similar to the same peak we had on Ethereum in May 2021 that it's not able to break. But if it breaks it to the upside, I think, and it's real, it's not a fake out like every day for the past week or two. If they break it for real, you have huge upside on Ethereum. Well, here we are on Solana, been testing it for the greater part of, I don't know, like 2 weeks almost, you know. Like you tested it for the first time since February, just late August 29th. And now attempting to break. To break this, understand, chat, the implications of breaking upward. You would be able to measure the move, which is around 260 of this rising wedge, or ascending triangle, whichever way you want to look at it. Remember, we were looking at it as ascending triangle, and they weren't not able to break out. I think you could probably look at it either way. They're both going to be the same measured move, right? If it's an ascending triangle or a rising wedge, the height of the structure is the same. So maybe the breakout point might be a little different. So if you're breaking out on a rising wedge, if it resolves bullishly, look at it. It's perfect. TA Tetris, 259.90. What is 259.90? It's the old all-time high from November 2021. And then, you know, of course, third target of the old trade setup in November of last year. That's X marks the spot. If we're breaking 216, you could be there very fast because history shows straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Why would we not do it again? We could. Could be in a matter of day or two. But hype in the chat, I mean, it's big for Solana. Okay, the uptrend is been intact. Just a little sketch based on the inability from buyers to do much of anything from mid-August to now. So like 3 weeks of just spinning the wheels, doing nothing, but doing something, right? Like higher lows, and then 198, that top of that major range. Positive price action, holding, and too much demand. They couldn't even test it again September 6th and yesterday, and now already attempting a breakout. So please understand this is happening right now, and this is on deck. Remember what we were talking about. Of the 5 majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Solana, 4 of them have all recently made all-time highs. Solana, not even close. Well, here we are, number 5, about to do it. By the looks of it, looks like catch up. Just like what, I mean, it's very similar to like the Mag 7, where it's like, you remember earlier this summer, shoot, dude, Nvidia and Meta and freaking Microsoft are going insane. Maybe Meta not as much, but definitely Nvidia and Microsoft. But then you're looking at one of the best performing, most efficient money-making machines in the entire world, Google, was just hanging around, kind of rallying. It had been performing, but there was so much ground to cover if it was going to catch up in performance to Nvidia and Microsoft, and it has already done it. It did it. It hit a 1.414 fib extension today. Now on the 4 hour, we got a shooting star on Google. We're going to look at those, but that's just what I'm saying. It's kind of the same thing where the catch up is happening. So just pay attention. We have a mega technical event possibly occurring as I'm speaking to you right now, okay? Okay, nice, dude. Okay, so those are your bigger cryptos. All right, let me well, we can total real quick. I like totals. They broke the supply line. Man, this was art. I mean, this is whoever it was that did this, you know, like the powers that be out there. I mean, the old all-time highs from 2024 and 2025, earlier this year, late last year, early this year. They were violated August 2nd, recaptured August 3rd, right? It's not about the breakdown itself, it's about the fall through. There was no fall through. And then a rally hit the supply line of the uptrend, and then a nice sell-off, controlled, methodical, and then they finally got back down to the top of the inflection zone, going back to December 2024. And you just had 3 or 4 days from August 29th to September 1st, and then a bullish engulfing candle on the 2nd. And now we are getting a pretty clean break of a supply line, maybe jumping across a creek in an uptrend. And you could understand the implications if it's real. Look at this. Beginning to show positive momentum on total market cap.
I like turtles.
Bears might be in body bags soon if this is going to catch fall through and be real. Like we're not acting like we know, right? We're never going to try to do that. We're not trying to fortune tell or make predictions or calls. It's just this is a really good thing to see, right? When you put in the highest low of a well-established uptrend, but that highest low just happens to be positive price action correlation to an old major all-time high. It was resistance. It's now formally support. These are good things for now, okay? Like, could change tomorrow, but that's the data we have right now. It's pretty good. If all stayed the same or higher in the next 4 hours, 53 minutes, it'd be the highest daily close since August 28th. Be the highest daily close of September, so not bad. By the way, we are...
It's time for Power Hour.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Can devs do something?
Looks like devs are trying to do something. That's devs, man. Devs holding levels as support. Very nice. Okay. We'll shift gears here. Your S&P 500. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I made a tweet. I posted a tweet, dude, this weekend where it's like, man, this rally's been so good, dude. I hope you've made so much money on this summertime rally. I mean, it's been good for me. I know it's been good for some of y'all, but you're just starting to get really extended, okay? And I'm not talking about, oh, we're about to go through a global financial crisis or we're going to crash or anything. I'm just talking about, like, what are the things that we sometimes see more often than not, what we see at tops, like after long extended rallies? You tend to get upsloping price contraction. You tend to be at major Fibonacci extensions. You're at the 1272. You're still at it. You typically are getting forms of exhaustion, you know, on the oscillators. And by God, I would say that this is really weak momentum. Like, you're just not getting any positive momentum on the rallies. The swing highs compared to the previous swing highs are like very small, right? Like, okay, here's a high, the sell-off. Here's the higher high. That's nice. So you think about, like, from this high to this high. Dang, man, that's like a 1% higher high. But then you go from like this high to like the next high, and it's like 0.5%. And then you go from that high to this high, it's about 0.5%. So it's like there are like that shortening of thrust behavior where it's like the higher highs are getting, it's like higher highs, not higher highs anymore. So like this run right here was like higher highs, because there was no retrace. But now you're getting, like, you know, retraces, and when they swing it higher, it's just not, it's not near as much. So still can't crack the 1272, like 650, 648, 60. You're just below it. Could be a bearish inside bar if they keep it like this in the next 50 minutes. So I'm not saying like it's over, okay? But like, come on, man. Like, you have the aptitude to understand what I'm trying to articulate to you. Like, you know what value looks like. You know what good setups for risk to reward are. You know what like an edge is on the market. This is not that. It's just not. You can't have an edge on the market when you're looking at an asset that's been doing this. Okay? It's just, there is a chance for some sort of pullback. And even if, like, again, people are going to be like hyperbolic here. Maybe if it resolved bearishly, okay, maybe. and it broke down. The extent of the sell-off from the breakdown, it would be a 3% drawdown for a measured move of this structure. 3%. The world would lose their minds. CNBC would be like, market's in turmoil. Oh my God. And it's just like a nice pullback that could be a buying opportunity if structures develop after it hits the measured move, if it did. So that's to the extent of the carnage that could be brewing, but they can obviously break it upward, you know, the short squeeze, and it's maybe this time's different. Maybe what's going on is like, wow, we are actually watching the capitulation of fiat purchasing power, and it's like for real. Like super for real. Yeah, maybe. They got to keep repricing assets for that, but they could still do that with a 3% pullback, and then we rally later going into Q4 or something. Okay, just I know it's crazy to even say that. Go ahead, burn me at the stakes. Okay. Dow Jones Industrial Average just spinning its wheels. I mean, at all-time highs, you know, but like not really going anywhere, even though it should, right? Like, why not? Like, we broke all-time highs. We formally back-tested it as support. We had a nice bullish engulfing candle, but no follow-through on that engulfing candle yet. We made a fresh all-time high on Friday, barely, and today we've gapped down, and we're just hanging around down. We're up 0.05%, big nothing burger, so pretty neutral day. But at the same time, right, like just like the S&P, I could see almost the same type of like upsloping price contraction, maybe, but yeah, not near as well defined here as it would be on the spider. Okay, so don't even. I'm just whatever. Okay, Nasdaq. Whichever way you want to look at it, I don't think that was enough. You know, could we even? I don't think we could do a wedge. You know, on something like this, it was too strong, man. I know we have a demand line here, but I don't know how we would do a supply line. It would be like it's just a channel. It's not a rising wedge like the S&P 500. It's just not. So just a little channel there. That's your structure, I think. Like this. Yep. Just like that. So in power hour, we are selling off. We are at the lows of the day on the Nasdaq. Tesla's going to fill the gap. Google's at its lows of the day now. Amazon's pulling back. Apple has been selling off. Nvidia is beginning to sell off. Nvidia went to 171, tested as resistance, and now it's rolling over. So all the Mag 7s are kind of pulling back. There's no longer hype on the market as there was this morning. Things have changed a lot. So that's your NASDAQ for now. Okay. IWM. Pretty strong, man. It's up today, 0.11%. Right, this nice channel here could be broken out of the channel or not. Trying to hold it as support, very strong. Anything above 234.55, given it enough time, is a minimum target of 242 to 244. So I mean that's it. Like if you breaking 234 was like the kind of one of the final bosses. Like that was the big one. So yeah, 244, 242 targets above that level, given enough time. There's no real indication of exhaustion. It looks actually really strong. I mean, 66.66 RSI, not overbought. Small caps, man, doing stuff. Okay, let's look at these mags, the Mag 7s, best to worst. Okay, let's go to Amazon. Right, as we talked about briefly, highest level seen intraday since February 6th. They have not yet filled a gap up there at 239. That would probably be on deck. No all-time highs yet. Still just churning around in at the pattern completion zone of the big old bearish bat pattern. So I don't think you're out of the woods yet. I mean, like we get a real bad, like say that wedge on the S&P like somehow resolves bearishly, which we don't act like we know. But if it did, this could be like setting up for some sort of type 2 return, like type 1, type 2. I mean, you're not out of the woods yet. But it is cool to see the highest level since February. So, nice. Okay, up 1.6%, the best performer of the 7. NVIDIA, 1.2%. It was up more. But gosh, dang it, man. No way they're doing this. Doesn't this make you kind of want to vomit? Chat? Anyone? You see this? What did they do? Extend that out a little. My God, what the heck? I mean, they essentially filled a gap, right? They gapped it down on the on Friday, and then they ran it up to kind of fill that gap, and at the same time regard kind of the rectangle's old support as resistance. So after a level gets violated, market participants will push the asset to formally test the level as resistance to confirm its validity. Oh, yes, it is now certainly, without a doubt, being confirmed as resistance after being broken on Friday. So, not what you want to. If I'm a big Nvidia bull, like long term or short term. Short term, it's real bad. I mean, that's awful. That's the 1272 fib extension as well. So, until we break 170, kind of sketchy. Just kind of sketchy. All right. Yikes. Got storms going on outside. Here's Meta. Gotta love Meta above 740. Like, for real. Above 740 is the old overhead resistance all-time high from February, but also it's like the channel, right? We got plotted here. Like, you're back in that. It's all good, but had a nice start to the day, got to 767 at the high, but his pullback lost a lot of its gains, up 0.84% still, but there is an unfilled gap at like 737. So it's okay. I mean, again, above 740, you're golden for higher, but you might want to cut your losses maybe 735 or something. It might be time to go fill a gap at 696 if you're losing 740 for real. So like, that's just, again, we don't act like we know, we just know the levels. And if you're above a certain level, given enough time, there could be a lot of upside. Unfilled gap, like 786. I mean, this channel's tops up at like 850. But again, that argument or that optimism could diminish or completely collapse if we fall below the old overhead resistance. We might need to back test it. They have not done that, right? When they recaptured the overhead resistance, they never reconfirmed it as a valid support. So they might need to do that first. So that's where you're at on Meta. Zuckerberg, man. It was Zuckerberg. Meta is creating a data center literally the size of Manhattan. It is unfathomable the amount of energy that will cost to run. We need something, man. We need Elon to come out with some sort of revolutionary battery that is way stronger and more durable and lasts longer, or we can harness the power of the sun better or something. China is destroying us in power consumption and output. So we need to catch up. We need to do something, man. We are sleeping right now in the West. Okay, here's Microsoft. Could be a bullish inside bar maybe, but because they gapped it up, it's up 0.5%, but there's no edge. There's no structure. This is coming off of a godlike run. There's nothing to do on Microsoft. If you're a Microsoft bro, there's no trade. There's no real trade to be had here, I don't think. I mean, below 500, I don't like it. 500 was kind of like a manufactured support resistance at a psychological level, right at the 1272 fib extension, but you broke it like convincingly, on Friday, and now they gapped it up just to test 500 as resistance, and now you are currently trading below 500, so it's not really good, man. I'm not down with Microsoft right now, but yeah, without an edge, flip a coin, man. Can I hear this thunder? All right, let's go to Google. All-time highs. Let's go, dude. Jesus chimes. All-time highs. We hit the 1414 fib extension. Remember, that is the extent of Nvidia's retrace, 141.1%, and that was it. Remember, Microsoft was the only of the Mag 7 to hit their 1618s. So Google now, 40 minutes to go. I mean, selling off. Who cares? Even if this happened, you're probably still not going to fill that gap down there. The volume was way too high. It's, I think, a textbook breakaway gap. It's not going to fill anytime soon. But yeah, you could be going for a retrace. I mean, that's been a pretty spectacular 3-day period. I mean, 4 with the high, 238. Come on, man. Phenomenal. Remember, target 4 of the trade setup is the 1618, 248. So 3 of the 4 have been achieved. Okay, Apple down 1.1%. That, on Friday, that's some sort of evening doji star reversal. Today we're catching follow through, and the problem here is what you see typically. It's the wave structure. It's like a bearish dragon, maybe all of a sudden starting to develop. What are you talking about, bearish dragon? Well, we flip it over real quick. So this is typically how it can happen. Just the waves, the wave structures. The X, the A, the B, the C. Supply line, that's a hump. And when you get this, typically on the second foot, you'll get some sort of development of exhaustion on the oscillators, and that's actually what's happening right now on Apple. I hope this completely fails. It hasn't broken anything yet. It's kind of fine. But again, if that's a Japanese candlestick reversal on Friday, if the next candle is follow through, that is a form of confirmation of the validity of the Japanese candlestick as a reversal. So you're getting that today. At the same time, you are testing that old all-time high from July 2024. It was also tested in October last year. They're trying to hold on to that. But yeah, you are starting to show a little, the buyers are tired up here, and there's Japanese candlesticks and maybe structure to kind of strengthen that argument for buyers being tired here. So all I can say is not a good area to be taking fresh longs on Apple. It's just not. It can't ever be that way when you're looking at a high and a slightly higher high with divergence developing. And what sucks about the RSI is, man, it was really good. I mean, that is what you want to see for a divergence. Wells Wilder would love that when the divergence occurs and it's in overbought territory on both peaks. That's exceptional. So it's the high, the slightly higher high with much lower levels of relative strength.
Hey Mitch, good to see you, brother. Can we take a look at JD?
Anonymous, of course. JD.cam. We'll do it, man. Thank you so much for the 20. China been killing it, man. They're just devaluing their purchasing power. They don't really care about their people. I guess we don't either, but they're doing it to another level. They're debasing their currency to crazy levels. So just be on alert for maybe a Japanese candlestick reversal, maybe a bearish dragon, bearish divergence. You're starting to show a few variables that would imply maybe a gap fill of 229 could be on deck. I'm not even saying we're going way lower. I'm just saying maybe they're going to fill the gap if all this plays out. I hope not, right? I hope we're at 260 tomorrow. That's what I hope, okay? But that's different than technicals. Okay, so the worst performer, as usual, is Tesla. I'm starting to wonder, why is Tesla the Mag 7 over Broadcom? Broadcom would make way more sense to be in the Mag 7, I think. I mean, the performance of Tesla is just as bad. It's worse than, it's as bad as Ethereum. Where it's like, if you were holding, 4 years ago, Tesla, you've made no money. Mag 7s, all the Mag 7s, if you held 4 years ago, you're up substantially on everything except Tesla. Its revenue isn't in line. It just doesn't really make sense to be a Mag 7. So I would think they would flip and put AVGO in there. Either way, you're going for a bearish engulfing candle. Probably by tomorrow, you'll fill the 338 gap. I would imagine. I just don't know how in the world can that gap not fill. We talked about on Friday, it was a nothing burger gap. There's no volume, and the price disparity on the gap was it wasn't good enough. It wasn't big enough. So they might, they're probably 35 minutes. They could very well be taking this to fresh lows. It's either today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. This gap fills most likely. So just be prepared. Could be an opportunity. They could just take it down to fill the gap and it access support, right? 18% of the time, according to Bulkowski, that's not much, right? 18% of the time, gap fills act as support or resistance. So Maybe, dude, you got a chance, dude. 338 could be a level to be like maybe limit buys or something. You know, not a big position, but if you like the trend or how it's been trending, you like the consecutive higher lows and higher highs, you've been uptrending. Maybe, you know, to lose the 200 moving average and 326 is really bad because then you're going to 313 again. So yeah, this is just spinning the wheels, trading the same price as trading at in May. It is not the same as the other 6. So I'm saying, man, it's like, I'm saying, like, look, ABGO, why would this not be the 7? Kick out Tesla, put this thing. Hey, want to talk about respective 1618s? Remember we were talking about in the Mag 7, the only one to do it was Microsoft? Well, look, exact same Fibonacci anchoring on AVGO, Broadcom. It's exceeding a 1618. It's pretty much where Microsoft was at its peak on the earnings, where it just gapped up. That's where it's at. It's up 2.55% today. And let me show you, market cap wise, I just don't get it. Look. Yes, look, it got a larger market cap than Tesla. Performs better than Tesla. It's big tech, man. Tesla, kick it out. Let's just make Broadcom Mag 7. Let's just do it here. Look, it is getting closer and closer to Meta. Look, it's Broadcom, it's Meta, it's Amazon, Apple, or Google, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. Duh, that's number 7. Who came up with that? I think the Mag 7 term came out back when Tesla was this. Like when the chart of Tesla literally looked like that. Like, dang, man, what a freaking uptrend, dude, from 2020 all the way to 2021. What a run, dude. This thing's been a shorts graveyard. Remember they were calling it that over all these years, 2013. You know, been short squeezing, and then yeah. So it's just like, I think if you account for new data over the past 4 years, this shouldn't count as a Mag 7. But its revenues garbage compared to the other 6 too, and I can imagine probably garbage compared to Broadcom. So anyway, that's my. That is my theory or my opinion, man. What's your opinion, man? Okay, so let's knock out that. Well, Brutus didn't even request anything. The only request today was JD.com, so I guess I'll just look at it real quick, knock it out. JD.cam. Yeah, this one was like, yeah, here we go. You got a big breakout, chat.
Look here. Look, listen.
And it's not just the breakout of the wedge. This zone 31 to 33 is huge. Like, it's very important. Going back to 2014, 2019. I mean, virtually 2023. To me, I think to recapture that zone is important. They did that on Friday, and now you gapped up 3.57% today. But the breakout of the falling wedge. Man, I'll tell you, that freaking divergence, look how long it diverged. And then lost supports too, that false bearish breakdown crap. Very nice. So $33 is going to be tested. You know that's a big deal. Like, I don't know if they'll break it, but they very well could. If you broke that, your target, I mean, you got to go one at a time. 34, 36 is an overhead resistance from June and July. Above that's like 35, 35. That's a big deal. That's not a joke at all. So what we want to see for real is buyers on JD break $33, and then eventually we get some sort of formal bullish back test, right? We want price action correlation to big levels. So we would want probably this to continue, go to the 200 maybe, and then we sell off, and then we do something like this. Maybe even that. To get something like that would be a dream. It'd be an easy trade setup, optimum reward to risk, could strategize the stop loss effortlessly. That's what we would want on JD for to be able to post a trade setup. Okay, so great breakout today. Big deal. Yep. China. Big China. Big China. Speaking of China, how about Baba? Alibaba. Highest level seen since March 19th. No surprise. No surprise in a well-established uptrend that was ushered in with a bullish Gartley and the classic accumulation structure, the three rising valleys. And the third valley just happened to back test the March 2022 low. Hello, just gorgeous. And waiting on 164. This will be target 4 of the trade setup posted back in August. Yeah, an over 1 year trade setup. This is what happens when you identify massive structures on the daily. Yeah, it takes a while, but you got 3 of the 4 already. So Google 3 of the 4. So 164, and I think like eventually they hit that level and it'll pull back violently. It'll be crazy pullback, and then they'll pivot, making a higher low. They'll go test it again, and then maybe sometime in 2026 we'll be seeing 205 Baba. Yeah, it just retraces, man, from the all-time high to the low. You're at 382 levels, 50%, 618. It's way higher. So people would think this is Wyckoff accumulation. It could very well be. Yeah, it could be Wyckoff accumulation, and you've done all the good things. You've done the backup. You've done the sign of strength, the break of the range. You did the backup, and now you're confirming. This is the confirmation. This rally here. So rejoice. And Baba, Baidu was doing stuff last night. Still doing things. It's up 6.6%. Come on, man. Like, what could you ask for? It's not about China. It's about what was happening at key levels where historical reversals have occurred. Right? Like 2013, this level where big reversals happened. Look, man, 2020, big reversal. Look, they recaptured in 2022, big reversal. Same thing. They violated it. Then you had all this rounding action. The momentum was slowly shifting. And then nice accumulation and positive price action correlation in early August. And now look at us. Highest price seen since October last year. So we're coming in on 52-week highs on Baidu. And it was all technical, man. It made all the sense in the world. You know, just how it was. The China A50 looked good. We don't care about China. We just look at charts and it's like, my God, I don't care if this is Baidu, Tootsie Roll, Cocoa Futures, Butthole Coin. It's all the same thing. It's universal. So it looked good. Oh, LAC. Oh, my God. Yeah, dude. LAC. Never going to do it, man. LAC Composite, man, is the biggest masochist ever. I don't think, you know, I mean, it's coming, dude. Just patience. Please be patient. If you love me, if I've helped you over the years, and you trust me, please understand, like, this is nearing the end, okay? End of the line for this. Like, resolution, I know you'd be like, dude, resolution's been coming, man. But look what's happening, man. Like, more recently, like, you're getting new pieces of data that are very subtle that no one is going to see or care about. But sellers are not able to go test 262 again. Even at the lowest point, we saw 267. And even, like, you know, last week we saw 278. I know the 200 moving average. That's the problem. Like, you've got good stuff on the bottom side, but you don't have good enough stuff on the top side yet. Not yet. You can't break the 200 moving average. You're so close, but it's going to be a one-day thing. Like, you're going to get at some point some crazy 10 to 30% candle on a news-driven catalyst that will probably begin this thing. All right? You just need to see all this elevated volumes going on. So it's almost like you have... It's not quite, it's U-shaped in a way, and U-shaped volume's good, because what will happen is when the structure is finally concluding its development, you'll get volume spikes. And so it's not perfect, but it's similar to CHR. Same type of U-shaped volume, where the beginning of the pattern and then the end of the pattern, that volume is way higher than when it was, you know, in the midst of its development. So pay attention to that, and I'll show you that example on ACHR real quick. This is what happens, Larry. The weekly. It was like, yeah, you had it like this. Well, oops. It was U-shaping. It's different because all this volume came after. It's like you started getting like elevated volume, and all this volume was after this whole pattern began to go. So it's really cool. LAT could be in the exact same situation where you're about to start seeing major markups in volume. So I can't emphasize enough, man. Like, you either got the patience for this or you've already given up and you're done. And I get it, man. Who wouldn't want to be done with this crap? I get it, dude. It's garbage. It's a 3% down and up every day. No direction. Same price was trading at July of last year. You just know where you're at. I know. Very good, boys. Very good. That's right. Maybe. Could be, right? We have no expectations, and we don't act like we know where things are going next, right? Even with... I see this, and I think there's a 70% chance of positive resolution where we're going to 382 and higher. 70%. That still means there's a 30% chance that it could completely fail. 30% is not negligible. That's a lot of percentage points. So, like, would I want to be in a room and, like, be like, hey, with a gun and be like, hey, man, if you pull the trigger, you know, there's a 30% chance you will survive. I don't want to. But yeah, in the eyes of trading, you have a 70% chance of way higher in time. But the beauty is, if that bullet's in the chamber of that gun and it fails, right, you at least can protect yourself with stop losses and stuff. So probably below 250 or something. Crap, I gotta take my pre-workout. I've got it right here. Hold on one sec. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm just gonna mix this and chug it. One sec. All right, I'm back. I said to do that. I'm late too. I should have done this like 7-8 minutes ago, but anyway, been live over an hour now. So if you're enjoying this early stream, hit the like button, the bell, stuff. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Etsy is. Etsy's up almost 8%. My God, dude, what have they done here? Yeah, they're trying to turn things around on Etsy. Yes, above 70 would be amazing, but yeah, long way to go. Marvel, remember, got murdered really bad. You're going to come back. Don't really see anything yet, though. Okay, nice. Come back. Take two. Oh, wow. All-time highs on take two. Look at this trend. It's gorgeous. Officially hitting the 1272 fib extension. First time ever. From the old high to the... That was the 2021 high to the 2022 low. That's how I had anchored for these Fibonacci's. And just pumping, man. I mean, up almost 4%. And if you break 250, it's an easy 266. You can see the overbought threshold of the uptrend here is 266, 267. So beautiful. Video games, man. Let's freaking go. EA was flat today. But something must have released. Are they doing GTA 6 or something? Is that what's going on? Maybe. We got less than 20 minutes, or about 20 minutes until your closing bell, all right? Rocket Labs is still doing it, man. Nah, I pulled back, but it's trying to break back out. Crazy. I mean, buying things up here is where you can get murdered. Like, it could be topped out and we don't even know it yet. That's the problem. Like, that's what high risk is. Like, you've already had like multiple major waves and it's consolidating. Oh, look, bull pull, bull flag breakout. Then it collapses and back in, and now it's starting to rally, but it's not making higher highs than this high or these highs yet. You just don't know. It's trickier. It's talking about risk, man. Uber was making an all-time high. Well, it made it recently, but dang, dude, so strong. Super strong. What's going on up here, you know? Is it just like a channel, kind of? Yeah, it's just like it's a little bit like silver. Silver's up here though. Yeah, look how beautiful that is, right? You have like a demand line. They tested on Friday successfully. Now you're like almost pretty much engulfing. And remember, there's nothing up here. Oh, you also tested the old all-time high from October of last year. Right? That was tested as support. Man, you're golden on Uber. This is a mega uptrend. Time to 103. Yeah, you're 94. Time to go to $100. They have not seen $100 on this chart ever. It's happening. Like 90% chance. If an asset sees $90, there is a 90% chance based on statistics that the asset will see $100. Even if it hits $100 and collapses to zero. $100. High probability on Uber. Okay. Above $87, you're in really good shape. So that's phenomenal stuff here. Imagine the wave structure, like in the making possibly because of today's price action. You could be working on, oh, look at that. Look at, you know, the waves today, 886 plus wave structure on the B point, 1618. It would be TA Tetris. The 1618 would be the overbought threshold of this channel here. Come on, Uber, let's freaking do it, man. NGD, my God, these things are scary. These, remember how they started? Look at them now. These are like parabolic moves, highest level on NGD today since like 2014. Well off its all-time high, but my God, this is like Baba, chat. Similar-ish to Alibaba. Cycle reversing M shapes. Good structures after the completion. Giving you time and evidence someone is buying. There's more than before. But Oracle up good today. Off its highs, but yeah, it's not like a shorter term channel just for fun. It broke that. I don't think that's a big deal. Nothing really here. Earnings is tomorrow for Oracle, so let's see what happens. In before it just gaps up like crazy. Who knows, man. Just looking at some assets, man, that just been performing well today. NIO have been showing some really good stuff, and now broke out. It's even back testing a breakout. Wow, man. Old swing lows from 2018 and 19. Swing high from 2024. Being regarded as support. They might be bull flagging right now. If you stay above 593 on NIO long enough, man, 819 target probably. Walmart strong today. Very strong Walmart. My God, man. Broken back out of this triangle, and you got a date with all-time highs soon on this one by the looks of it. Yeah, Walmart is not going to stop, man. Walmart is king. Okay, so Bitcoin losing some of its steam. Kind of pretty much taking out the entire previous 4-hour candle we had. It was really nice. It was up like 1% or something, you know. But we're still above 112, but barely. We have not, remember, just I guess, local on the 8s thing, where we just, you know, go back to Bitcoin to reassess top of the hour. I missed it or something. But remember, 4-hour, we have a potential momentum shifting structure. And it is potential, all caps, because it is not confirmed. It is not a real pattern. It can't be until the confirmation line or the neckline is broken with confirmation. It hasn't done that yet, right? That is a 113.1, 113.2 level. So it's still nothing yet, but it's not over. It's still pretty weak price action, given, you know, what some assets in the other markets have been doing, like gold and Alibaba and Google. I mean, it's pretty weak. It's still like, you know, it's cool that we have maybe a promising potential structure that could take us higher, but you have to stay grounded and think about it the other way. Have we made a higher high yet locally lately on an insignificant time scale like the 4 hour? Have we made a higher high yet? Nope. Can you have a trend reversal without higher highs? Nope. Can you reverse your trend with higher lows and not higher highs? No. You have to have both. You have to have definitive higher highs and higher lows consecutively, and you don't have that yet. In fact, you know, if you reversed right here, you're going to be making a lower high than the high we saw on September 5th, 3 days ago. Like, what? Come on, man. Like, this is pretty garbage. Like, because there's just so many things that could be done where it's strong and there's no controversy. It is real. We do not have that real evidence yet. And I'll be the first person to talk about it. If it happens, when it happens, it's the waiting room for, okay, momentum shifts, but when accumulation, when higher highs, when breakout. I mean, can't even test the 200. I haven't even tested the 200 moving average since August 22nd. We need something, man. We got to have a catalyst or something. But I don't know, any bullish catalyst for Bitcoin doesn't do anything to the asset anymore. Like, it just doesn't catch bids anymore. I don't know. And the problem with Bitcoin, no one wants to hear, but this is why I'm saying it towards the end of the stream. At this point, you cannot consider Bitcoin a reconfirmed long-term uptrend until you take out the most recent discernible major swing highs. And unfortunately, those are 10% away because they're the all-time highs, 123, 124, right? To break above 124 would reconfirm the long-term uptrend as valid, as real, as what it is. And then you could run all the way up, chat. No one wants to hear this. You could run to 122 and reverse to the downside, and it gives us a lower high. And we still cannot say that the long-term uptrend is reconfirmed. We could take it to 117, right? Like, that would be a target if 112 breaking, you know, if it wasn't going to roll over here. Like, you go to 117, and if they start rolling over there, you're still probably putting in a major discernible lower high. So it's just like, you're kind of in a, I mean, like, it's good because you have so much downside potential before you make a lower low, but you have to make so much, you have to cover so much ground to make a higher high now. Like, it's like either, hey, to make a lower low, you have to break 98K. To make a higher high now, you have to break 125, really. Ugh. Kind of just gross, man. Gross. Oh, dang. FNMA, Freddie Mac or whatever. It's up like crazy. What the? Y'all remember Fannie Mae? Oh my God, dude. Holy crap. FNMA, Fannie Mae, all-time, not highs, sorry. Highest level seen on Fannie Mae since 2008. What does this mean, chat? I'm no economist, but what does it mean that FNMA is going nuclear and it's at its highest level since the global financial crisis, July 2008? What does that mean? It all started with beautiful spring back tests of key levels, and then they broke and they confirmed this old resistance as beautiful technicals. Wow, on FNMA. But what does this mean? Someone make a guess, you know, that's smarter than me. Crazy. I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for answers. Government-backed loans coming. Is that what that would equate to? Anyone? Okay. I don't even know. I might have on normal latency, so the delay might be longer than I usually have had it on. I normally have it on like ultra low latency, so it's the delay is at its lowest point between me broadcasting to you, the viewer. But Chip Flipper, they are government-backed loans for real estate. Let's look at. I gotta go in a few minutes, but I've got a little time left. Let's look at the TLT. Remember, it had that crazy rally on Friday, and that continues. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude, this is not good, man. This is Bond Bros. They're recapturing a level of all levels. Okay. This is the most important level on the chart, $88, $87 to $88. Okay, an ancient battleground from many years ago, 2003 all the way to 2010, 11. They recaptured it, man. They recaptured it. It's like an M shape, a deep M shape. But wow, the higher lows have come in. Now you're trading above the 200 simple moving average. Highest price seen since April 30th. Something's going on, man. Something is happening on bonds I would not ignore. It's almost like you could say there's maybe a big old dragon pattern breakout. Ooh, oh my God, dude. This doesn't make me feel good about equities now. Like, here's your first foot. Here's your second foot. All that chomp there. And it's breaking. It broke out on Friday, the supply line back from September last year. 1 year ago, a 1 year large dragon. The bond dragon. Up 1.3%, and it was up 1.5% on Friday. It's up over 3% in 2 days, man. QE percent borrowing short term, short end, and buying the long end. QE from the Treasury. I don't know. I mean, of course, like, the trend is not reversed yet. You got to make higher highs than $93, $94, $95. But regardless, they're now locally putting in higher lows. But above all, anything above 87.74 is really good. And we can certainly see some sort of supply line was breached on Friday. And you're just continuing now. So weird. Bonds going up, gold going up, equities going up, but starting to see a little bit of exhaustion on that spider. So, like, wouldn't it be like, oh yeah, in the end it'll, like, we'll look back in hindsight, okay? We'll look back in hindsight of this wedge nearing its apex. And if it resolves downward, we're watching bond spike. People will be like, duh, it was a no-brainer. Of course. It made all the sense in the world that we were going to reverse the downside. Duh, I called it, man. People will say, whatever. They'll say that. But, yeah. Still in the wedge. No bearish breakdown. How much further they could take it as far as September 17th, 18th before they hit the apex for busy lifting drinks. They hit the fan. Okay, Bitcoin's still selling off 5 minutes ago on this 4-hour candle at its lows of this 4-hour candle, wiping out the gains from the last 4-hour candle. So again, there's just still not enough evidence on Bitcoin of strength, right? Like, here's the high from August 28th, and here's the matching high from September 4th, giving us that neckline. You haven't even made a higher high. You can't even come close to testing these two highs. Yes, you're making higher lows on the bottom end, but you're not making higher highs on the top end, and that's not good enough. Octo, man. 8Co Holdings. Oh my god, dude. Octo Holdings up 3,100%. Chad, oh my god. Hey, guess what? It's still off its highs by 99%. Yikes. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. You can see something on the opposite side. Not quite as bad, but Ruru Rimon. Ruru Rimon. Oh, they stopped the selling. Wow, they did stop it. Dang, man. Oh, okay. I see why. 164. It saw fresh multi-year lows. It saw its lowest low at the intraday today since March 2020 during the COVID crash. But this one swing high from 2018, swing low from 2019, that has once again on Friday and today been regarded as support. So I wonder if it'll hold, man. This is kind of an inverted hammer reversal candle, and you're actually at the lows. It looked like death. And now, with less than 4 minutes till the closing bell, this might be an inverted hammer being confirmed with a follow-through candle at support. So a Japanese candlestick bro might be like, it might be worth a little gamble here. Yeah, a Steve Neeson bro. High volume. Something to think about. Yeah, stop loss. You would cut your losses right back below 164. But dang, man, that's low risk. That's like, okay, you lose a little bit, but the upside could be a gap fill to 205. Because there's nothing here, man. Maybe 179 might be a peak, and then 193, different little highs there. But it's just interesting on Ruru Rimon, because it looked like it was all over, and they tend to do that. It's all over, bro. We're at multi-year lows. We're losing support, and then by close, the Japanese candlestick pattern gets confirmed as real. But yeah, maybe it doesn't. You just need a higher close than Friday's close to confirm it. And there's Bitcoin, man. I mean, what are you going to do, dude? What are you going to do? Bitcoin now about to test 112, about to lose it. $112,002. Someone $2.40. Do something, dude. What are you doing, chat? Stop selling. Give us a higher high. You can't. Locally can't give us a higher high at all. The month of September, no real higher highs. Yikes, man. That's the problem, man. It's just so... Ugh. Okay. 3 minutes till the close. 3 minutes to my workout. He's a little late because it's really stormy outside. Solana cannot break the resistance, man. Not yet. It's trying. So freaking hard. Just remember, yes, that's the measured move to all-time highs, 260, the old all-time high. That's the measured move of the structure if it breaks upward. But remember, if they can't break it, this could be the absolute and utter top. The highest risk, like taking a long at the resistance, could be fatal to your portfolio. That's the problem. Because we never act like we know if they're actually going to break it this time. It was so close on the 28th and 29th. They were going to at one point during the day, it's happening, man. Just like today, it's going on right now. And then Bitcoin starts crapping out, and then you're back below it, and it's like, of course, another false breakout. They just can't win clean break. Win clean godlike break. Yep. Hood killing it. Yeah. About to get out of here. 2 minutes till the closing bell. If you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button, the bell, at sub. You know, I'm going live early for y'all. No ads, no anything, right? No affiliate marketing, no sponsors. You just get the charts, man. Me and the charts. Yeah, Robinhood going for the highest close in human history. Incredible. A 15+% day. It's at the highs of the day. Highs of lifetime, just about. You're a little lower than... you'll be seeing probably all-time highs after hours or in the next 30 seconds. But either way, you're about to make history on this one. So, your logo on the 8s, man. Oh, my God. Thanks, 6. Thanks, chat. Cactus, Steve, Alec, James, Sam.
MBB going up with FMA.
Is that a joint?
MBB, mortgage-backed securities, something. All right, there it is. Closing bell. Ding, 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 ding. All-time highs on Hood on the close. Pipe in the chat. Ugh. Google's 4-hour shooting star was confirmed with a follow-through candle. Yikes. Alibaba closed at its highs of the day. Incredible, up over 4% on the close. Spectacular. China. Microsoft maybe put in a bullish inside doji bar. It might reverse off that. We'll see. You got to get confirmation tomorrow, but who knows? Gold still another hour till its daily close. So strong, man. Look at that, dude. You want to see something that's kind of scary? And I don't know exactly what it's going to mean, but I want to look at this, my last chart, okay? The gold paired against the US, gold to the US dollar paired against the NASDAQ. Look how scary this is. This is extremely scary in ways because that is, you know it, right? You know, we just looked at BABA and ACHR. This is the cycle reversing M shape where you know what happens when this is painted and you get bullish consolidation after it completes. And then you start recapturing key historic, key levels from history, 1999, 2001 spring back test. Oh my God. Put the trend reversed. You've got higher lows. Here's your low. Here's your high. Here's your higher high than that high. Here's your higher lows than this low. And now here's your higher high than these highs. Here's your higher low than these lows. You have reversed your trend definitively on this chart. And it's still at the basement. It has just begun its trend. It's like BABA. Remember BABA? It was literally the BABA chart. This is the BABA chart. Let's do it. Let's let me try to shoot, man. I gotta go. God. Out of time, man. There's no difference between this chart and BABA's chart, really. So if it's gold paired against the NASDAQ, this means gold's going to continue to outperform the living crap out of the NASDAQ long term. What does that mean? Does that mean gold's going to go to 5K and NASDAQ's going to do okay, but it's just not going to perform as well as gold? Or does it mean gold's going to go sideways and the NASDAQ's going to correct? There are multiple outcomes, but one thing's certain. This is implying that gold, and guess what? In May, you know what happened? Chat, are you listening? If you're still here, thank you for being here. The first weekly golden cross on gold paired against the NASDAQ since 2006. 2006, man. Right here. Golden cross. So what happened after that golden cross? After that golden cross? 212% in 2,000 days. 1,940 days. So that is shouldn't you, I'm very concerned with this chart. What does that mean? That's it's not a great thing. And Bitcoin's chart, gold paired against Bitcoin's no better, really. It's did the spring back test with the M shape completing at the basement bottom historical level too. So just a public service announcement on this. Okay. So I'll leave you with that, chat. Thank you for coming out. Thank you so much for being here and all the support over all the years. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Brad and Shaylin. Thanks, the team, making the dream continue. We're over 7.5 years now, dude. And what a dream it's all become. So it's an honor to be able to spread the word of traditional technical analysis, not a fortune-telling thing, not a crystal ball. Certainly and only, at best, a risk management tool where you can post a trade setup and it's based on price action correlation to levels, and you have a stop loss setup and it fails, you get stopped out, minimal losses. But if you never get stopped out, you get 3-to-1 reward to risk minimum. So yeah, thanks for everything, everyone, and hopefully I've made some sort of positive impact on your lives, and I'm gonna do everything I can to continue that. As long as you keep showing up, me too. And join the Discord if you haven't. I'll be back. Until next time, respect the T. A.
those turd nuggets.